Respawn are back at it again with more Titanfall universe teases within Apex Legends. With Season 5 of Apex Legends getting ever closer, data miners have found some clues tying things back to the ARES division from Titanfall 2. Now the leak outlines a small iPad-looking device that you can see on a desk in the dome area of World's Edge. And on that device is the logo of the ARES division from Titanfall 2. Now, if you didn't play the campaign or the faction within Titanfall 2, the Archaeological Research Division are sort of some bad dudes, and you may remember their lab facility near the end of Effect and Cause, that absolutely legendary Titanfall 2 mission. Now, this leak makes reference to a possible underground area of the King's Canyon map, and Respawn has promised Titanfall fans a pleasant surprise in this upcoming season. Now, it's obviously not the first time that Respawn has teased some great references to Titanfall within Apex, and it would feel as if perhaps each season the allusions to Titanfall are growing ever stronger. Are Respawn beginning to set the stage for Titanfall 3? And if so, let's speculate about how and when that could possibly happen. First, we need to roll the clocks back to last October's EA investor earnings call, in which we have some mentions back to Titanfall. During that call, we learned that EA has viewed Apex Legends as such a success that they want to build out a 10-year roadmap for the title and see it as sort of an annual shooter franchise for them. However, when Titanfall 3 came up, Blake Jorgensen had this to say: "We really want to keep the team hyper-focused on Apex Legends because we see there's so much opportunity there." Blake Jorgensen is the Chief of Operations and Chief Financial Officer. I can't give you a sense of if and when Titanfall 3 will come, but it's still a great brand and we certainly won't forget about it down the road. While it's encouraging to hear that they have not forgotten about Titanfall, it definitely didn't seem like there was much of a chance that we'd see a new release of a next-gen Titanfall anytime soon. However, with Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 looming around the corner, I think it would be fair to say that Apex Legends can do a really good job setting the stage for a potential release of a new standalone Titanfall game sometime maybe in 2021 or 2022. It's also a challenge to really break down what Respawn is working on because they've seen some big successes lately. If you haven't had the chance to play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you absolutely need to. The game was a massive success for Respawn, and they'd be silly not to be putting together a Jedi Fallen Order 2 as soon as possible. We also have Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, which is due out sometime this year. So unless there is some mystical, magical, unknown Titanfall team hiding amongst Respawn somewhere, most of the resources from Respawn have been tied up on already known about projects. Perhaps the team working on Medal of Honor Above and Beyond will start to see some shifts after their game releases. In the past, we do know that Vince Zampella has wanted the studio to be more than just an FPS-based developer. And with the roaring critical success that Jedi Fallen Order was, I think that wish is coming true quickly. It's no secret that Apex Legends has been a very big financial success for EA and for Respawn. If you look at the state of the studio prior to them putting out Apex Legends, things were in a very different position. As many of you know who like Titanfall 2, it's a fantastic game. It did not sell to the degree that I think a lot of us really wanted it to, or gain the popularity or that roaring trend that Apex certainly did. Now, to put our speculation caps on here, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it in the comments below, do you think a Titanfall 3 is something that can be put out sometime in the next few years? I believe that Respawn would be crazy not to put together another standalone Titanfall game in the next 2 to 3 years, coinciding with the new hardware that's coming out for these consoles and capitalizing off the popularity of Apex Legends. I kinda doubt that 10 years is going to sustain Apex Legends. It's ambitious and it's great to talk about a long-term roadmap like that, and obviously the game has remained successful, but it's a very, very tough space. If you're gonna be a BR game, you continually are fighting for those top spots on Twitch, as influencer-based media represents a huge portion of your marketing. It's always about what's the hottest and the coolest thing right now, and Warzone has definitely come in and stolen a little bit of the thunder that I think Apex Legends had commanded. Hype is always that artificial subjective thing though, and it doesn't measure up to a game's quality in my opinion. But you have way more people now who have an idea of what the Titanfall universe is like than ever before. Titanfall 2 was easily one of the best FPS games of this generation. When you pair those two together, you have a springboard and an excellent set of potential for a really great release. Also, to roll the clocks back, when Titanfall 2 released, it kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to the marketing. Its launch window was sandwiched between so many big titles, and it felt like EA never really gave it the marketing spotlight that the game deserved. Had it released in the summer or further away from the Battlefield release that year, I think it would have had a much greater chance of attracting bigger player base numbers and retained some of those numbers a little bit longer. Well, now EA knows what a big breadwinner that Apex Legends is for them as a publisher, so they can throw some serious marketing dollars towards the release of the next Titanfall game. Unfortunately for us diehard Titanfall fans, I don't see a lot of benefit in Respawn rushing to get a game out within the next year. Rather, I see them waiting a little bit into the next generation's console cycle before they push out their next Titanfall iteration. Whenever a new set of console hardware releases, it's very exciting and there are quite a few first adopters, but for most gamers, I would wager there's a lag period before you're ready to dish out the money for a new console experience. I mean, life is expensive. It's going to be a really tough sell with these next-gen consoles coming out this holiday season to fork over that kind of money. Therefore, in speculation land, I think we'll probably see some Titanfall 3 stuff, maybe 2021 or 2022. I really want it sooner rather than later. As you guys know, Titanfall 2 was my favorite FPS game from this generation. However, I also want to see Respawn capitalize on some of the other success that they've had. Jedi Fallen Order is amazing, and I really hope that game gets the sequel that it deserves. And honestly, Apex Legends is still an absolute blast, and there's a lot of potential there for that universe and for that game. So with these teases for Titanfall continuing, you can bet that I think Respawn might be laying down the foundations to begin a breadcrumb tease of a new Titanfall game. But let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments section below. Will we see a new Titanfall game? If, when, how? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel. You can follow me over on Twitter at BBKDRAGOON. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk with you again very soon.